Hello everyone, so here we are taking a look at Battlefield 4 on the PlayStation 4. Always nice when these version numbers sync up. Now, if you've not played a Battlefield game before, it's pretty straightforward. It is a first-person shooter that primarily has always been about its multiplayer focus in the past. Battlefield 3 did introduce a single-player campaign, but it wasn't particularly well done. It certainly didn't measure up to Call of Duty. Now, with Battlefield 4 on PlayStation 4, we're looking at Battlefield Next Gen, as it were. The graphics have been massively updated, including the modelling of the human beings, as it were, in the game. The facial animations are fantastic, and overall the graphics are just phenomenal. It's not quite as good looking as on a PC on the highest settings, but that said, there is nothing to grumble about here. Compared to the previous generations, this is a revelation in quality of graphics. The gameplay is fantastic, and even the single-player campaign is pretty passable. It works well. Story's a little bit convoluted, like lots of spies and double crossing and things like that. But ultimately, it works as a game overall. And, it's pretty fun. I found myself quite engaged by the single-player campaign. But really, it's multiplayer where Battlefield comes into its own, with 64 players, as well as the commander, who can join whilst using a second display, such as a tablet or mobile phone. You have a very cool team-based combat game. And ultimately, a game that is much more expansive than the Call of Duty series. If you are interested in vehicles like tanks and aircraft and helicopters, as well as the ground combat with infantry, then you really do need to check out Battlefield 4. There's quite a few different game modes, although strangely on the PlayStation 4, not all of them are unlocked to begin with. You have to have the premium pack, which will cost you another 40 quid. On PC that stuff's included, but on consoles you want effectively nearly £90 out of us for all of the content in multiplayer. That doesn't really make sense to me, and it's a bit of a shame. It puts a bit of a dampener on an otherwise phenomenal multiplayer experience. Would be nice to have access to all of the content. Now, the game is next generation, and so we have all of that next generation stuff going on. We have volumetric fog, amazing looking lighting, and just incredible draw distances, as you can see here. Overall, really enjoyable with Battlefield 4, well worth checking out.